trade, took two trades, one dub, one L. Model played out pretty much almost perfectly, as you can see. This is the previous daily high here. We're not quite there yet, and yeah, I got stopped out of break even on the first trade. Decided I wanted to try and enter off the inverse fair value gap here, and then decided maybe not the best idea. But yeah, so let's go through it. So today we had the new week opening gap, and we traded down below previous daily low. From there, what do we get? We got a 15-minute inverse. Yeah, we got 15-minute inverse fair value gap, breaker structure here, and then I entered long off the 5-minute fair value gap retracement, so pretty much a perfect entry in line with the model. There was this inverse fair value gap way further back, which was, acting as a point where price was bouncing off and sort of coming back to this fair value gap here. And yeah, just overall for most of the morning between London and New York, we just sort of consolidated between it. And yeah, so as you can see, we get to 8:30. It's still kind of accumulating here. Then at market open, we get the manipulation up and then down. So this was the Judas swing here, and yeah. So pretty much what happened was, I had in mind that I wanted to take some profits after we filled this weekly opening gap, just because, as you can see, it's likely price is going to reverse at that point because of the imbalance. It just gets filled pretty much. So yeah, so I took half the trade off at this point and profited like £51 or something, and then I had the other half of the trade on, and I got stopped out of break even. And it just goes to show that the model does actually work, and I should trust it when it does fully align. I've just been done over so many times where you think it's the model and then it doesn't play out, you get stopped out, and then you just watched it all morning and taken a loss. So ultimately, today was a bit of damage limitation, I guess. Like, I was kind of scared to lose the trade, which you shouldn't really be. Like, for majority of the move, like most of the trade, like whilst I was in, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm happy with it. And then yeah, I just took half the trade off, moved my stop to break even just to let it run. But this is just a sign that pretty much we just came back down and filled this imbalance over here before moving back up. So ultimately, maybe that's something I can incorporate going forward. Like, if price, so we had what do we have? We had accumulation all through Asia session. We manipulated down through Asia lows and the London session, broke structure, and then we accumulated between London and New York. Monday, no news day, and we manipulated down back into this imbalance here. So maybe it's worth waiting a little bit longer for the next session, just to get a lower entry or confirmation of entry. But at the same time, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, I think if I'd left this trade running, it would be what, £250 stop or something. No, £250 take profit. And I took 50, and then yeah, on the second one I lost like 10-11 pounds, I think. So yeah, I mean, covered last week's loss, and then that second trade brought me back down to a £1 loss from last week, rather than the 40. So it is what it is. Ultimately, it was a bit impulsive, but I did still feel that price was going to push up towards previous daily high. Like, we're definitely going to see this get taken in the PM session, no doubt. But yeah, so in terms of what I was looking at after, so we broke this. I think it was a 3-minute. Yeah, so I was looking at this fair value gap to then get inverse to continue to move up after we've done this, especially with this inverse fair value gap here. So really, I should have it was because my entry was a little bit high. Like you can see, it was like right at the top of this wick, and then it traded back down. I had a £40 stop loss on this trade, which was just below the inverse, and then TP would have been like £80. So I just, yeah, I was a bit. I'd already taken my trade for the day and been stopped out. So once I'd done that, my psychology was a bit shot after it, to be honest. And yeah, I just took myself out here and just, took the minimal loss. Happy with making the money back from last week, so that's fine. Ultimately, execution could have been better if I just traded the whole plan today. Like I would still be in this trade and running at, what would we be running at if I just held on to it the whole time? We would be currently floating at, come on, get out of the way, £230 right now if I just didn't take partials or anything. But I wanted to manage my risk, so yeah, it is what it is. Model works, but it's interesting to note that you get accumulation in the Asia session, buy the weekly opening gap, manipulate down in London, push up, break structure, accumulate, watch for the retracement during the AM session, and then we target the highs. So learning points, learning points, always refining the model, trying to find what works, and just building real-time live exposure to it. As I say, I've done a lot of back testing on it, but it's not the same as when you're trading it live, purely because you're not able to skip time. You have to sit through the consolidation, you have to wait for it, and it just takes a bit longer. Whereas I could watch this whole move play out in a matter of like a minute on back testing, when in reality it's what, like a 8-9 o'clock entry in the morning UK time, and it's now currently 5:45. So yeah, it's one of those. I've no doubt that this is going to hit previous daily high. Like I was expecting this, like the previous target on Friday, to act as a consolidation zone, which you can see it is, and then we'll just get the push up, and then whatever happens from there. Yeah, so in terms of pips, what do we have? Let me just check the old broker statement. So first trade 677. Is that right? Let me just do that. 677. So first trade was 169.25 pips, and then second trade was 21 divided by 4, 170 minus 140. So I think it was about 130 something pips today. So that's fine. Take that, and yeah, we'll see what's going on going into the rest of the week. I know there's quite a lot of news tomorrow, so I'm not going to trade tomorrow. And then Friday's clear. Thursday, I'm not sure. I'll have to have another look, basically. And yeah, we'll just see how we go from there. But yeah, all right start to the week. It's nice to actually see this model play out, because it doesn't happen too often. So when it does, it's nice. Yeah, all that being said, I'm going to stop rambling, and I will catch you tomorrow.